Hi everyone, my name's Stephen Best and this is a tutorial on making your Crysis video captures more presentable. This tutorial is my research assignment for BENV 2423, part of my architectural computing degree at UNSW. The overall aim of this tutorial is to allow you to take your video captures from looking like this and change them so that they look like this. In this tutorial, I'll be covering three key aspects of making your captures more presentable. The first being removing the information at the top right hand corner of the screen, the second hiding the HUD, and the third one is creating a much more presentable character model to use for the first person view. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is very simple. Once we've got Crysis open, we're going to remove this text at the top corner of the screen. So to do that, we go up to View, down to Show Toolbox, and then it's simply clicking on the display info under the user commands. And with that clicked, the annoying text is gone. The second thing we're going to do to tidy up the screen is we're going to jump in the game by holding Control and pressing G. And we're now going to hide the HUD, which is the map and the health displays at the bottom of the screen. To do this, we hit the tilde key, which is the one directly under the escape button, which will bring up this menu, and we type in con underscore restricted space 0. Once we've done that, you won't have to type it ever again, even if you open the game up another time. With that done, we type in cl underscore HUD 0. And with that, you can hit the tilde key again, and your HUD is gone, giving you a clean display. Now, if you ever want to get that HUD back, all you need to do is hit the tilde key again, type in cl underscore HUD, and instead of a 0, this time we do space 1, and that'll bring it back. Alright, so to begin with, we're going to want to open up our character editor, and to do that we can either click on the little icon of the green man at the top, or we can click on View, Open View Pane, and go down to Character Editor. So once we've clicked on that, our character editor will pop up. This is what you'll see. Moving around in this environment is exactly the same as in our level editor. We use right click on the mouse to pan around our view, WASD keys to move around the environment, and we can see the model of our character here. This is the default Crysis model that we begin with, and we're going to be editing this to something a little bit more presentable. Because of the way the game was created, instead of creating our own custom skin from scratch, what we need to do is open up an existing one and change the overlaying materials on top of it. So to do that, what we want to do is navigate through to our file and open, and then if we start in our objects folder, we want to navigate to characters, down to human, Asian, NK underscore soldier, and then we want to find a skin titled NK Soldier Jungle Light Leader 1. So when we open that, the way this editor works is you have basic models for your character and then attachments that sit on top of those. Most of the time a base model will be just the body, and the attachments will include arms, hands, heads, and legs. Now for this one, what we want to do is navigate down here and click remove, and remove everything. So what we want is nothing left in our viewport here. So once we've deleted all of the attachments, we need to make sure that there's nothing left within the window that's visible, because if there is, we'll have conflictions later on, and we'll have some skins popping up when they shouldn't be. Now what we're going to do is add our own attachments. First of all, we need to make sure everything we add is a skin attachment rather than a face or a bone one. We're going to add three things here. There'll be a body, a head, and hands. So let's go and add a body. So once we've created an attachment, we need to assign it both an object and a material. So to do that, we're going to go to our objects path, and we need to find an object. So to find one, we go through characters, human, US, I'm going to pick an archaeologist, and we'll pick archaeologist underscore male underscore 2 and open. Now what that is the mesh, but we need to add a material on top of that. So to do so, we open up the materials and we go through objects. We need to find the same path that we were just at to find the object. So we go back to humans, US, archaeologist, and I picked archaeologist male 2, so we'll pick his torso. And we click apply, and we can see we've got the torso. Now you'll notice that it's missing both the hands and the head, so we'll go ahead and add those now. Exactly the same process. So we go and we'll add a head this time. Now we'll add the object for the head, and to find that the path for the file is slightly different. Rather than going into the humans folder, we'll navigate to the heads folder. Then we find the same path as the other one, so we'll go US, and we'll pick a Caucasian 1, and it's the first one. Now what we want to notice when we're picking all of our object files, it doesn't matter what it's for, a body, a head, or hands, but it needs to be a .chr file rather than a .cdf. The difference being the .cdf files are what the character editor saves a completed character as, while a .chr file is the mesh for a single piece. So we'll open up our head, and we'll add it for a material. So we go the same way as we did the first time, and we'll pick the first one there, and OK. So when we apply that, we've now got a head. Now all that's left is the hands. So as with the heads, the hands are in a different spot. Rather than going US or Asian, we scroll into our hands category, and we'll pick just a basic set of male archaeologist hands. Apply a material to them, the same as before. And when we hit apply, that's our male archaeologist finished. If you're ever in doubt of where to find either the object files or the material files, a good way to find ones that work and look good is to open up an existing character and then see where those pieces for the attachments are located. And you can do that just by looking at the file path down the bottom. Now once we've finished the character, we'll go over to the right and we'll click Choose Base Character, which will reload all of the relevant animations for the original character we opened up to edit. And we can now click on these at our leisure and make sure that they work properly for our new created character. And everything looks like it's working fine. Now that we've checked that everything works properly for our character, we can go ahead and save him. We want to hit Save As rather than Save so we don't overwrite anything. I've already got one saved here, so I'm just going to choose this name. And we need to pick somewhere that's easy to remember because we need to be using this file path later on. So I'm saving mine in my Crisis Wars game objects, and I've created a characters folder. So we'll save that. Now that's the easy part done. The difficult part is editing a game file to create a script so that when the sandbox editor opens, it uses this character instead of the default Crisis Suit one. So to do that, we're first of all going to navigate to our Crisis Wars folder, go to Game, and this is the one we're after, game-data.pack. So I'm going to quickly copy that to my desktop. We create a copy so that while we're editing things, if we mess something up, we don't ruin game files. And I'm going to extract this data. So I'm using WinRAR for this. It's free and off the internet, and anyone can get it very easily. Once that's done, we open it up, and these are the files that we get. So we want to find the scripts folder, entities, actor, and the one we're after is player.lua. So we're going to copy this. So when we found this file, we want to then go ahead and open it with Notepad, which then gives us this. So within this large piece of code, this is the relevant part to us, specifically the client file model path. Now I've already opened up a folder with where I've saved my character model to. So we then need to go and copy this and then we need to insert it into here. That's this. So the parts we can get rid of is everything before objects. So we'll go ahead and delete that. And then we'll add in the name of my model. So once we've done that, we can go ahead and save it. These files are read-only, so it won't let you save over the original file, so we're going to have to create a copy of it, which is fine because we need to move it to another location. So I'm going to move to my Crisis Wars folder, we'll navigate to Game, then you need to create a scripts folder, you need to create an entities folder within that, and an actors folder. And this is where we're going to save our player.lua file. So once we've done that, next time we open up the CryEngine, it should be using our default model. So now, the next time we open up the game, Sandbox will read the script that we put in the scripts file before it reads the game pack file, and it will therefore use the model that we just created instead of the basic nanosuit model. So if we open up a level, and then we jump inside it with Control G, we then use the F1 button to change to third person view, and we are now a much more presentable archaeologist rather than the old nanosuit model.